All right, let's take a break from World War III and let's discuss the liberals.
We were just talking about it this morning.
No! Fat boy! Fat!
They seem to be doing better than ever. All of this is we just got some crazy, wild information that the more we get of, the more confusing the story gets surrounding this Vance Butler guy who went on a spree taking the lives of Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota, as of course he has extensive ties to Tim Walz. What's really going on here? Was this a failed MKUltra operation, as Alex Jones is alluding to, or is this just a case of mass confusion, delusion, and, of course, the politicization of our system that has sadly become very divisive? What do you think is really going on here? Well, we're going to do our best to try to understand this very complex situation. As, of course, in the making of this video, we found out that this guy was finally apprehended after a 2-day manhunt. If you appreciate these types of videos, subscribe, click the notification button. As, of course, we got a lot to decipher here and to try to understand here. As, of course, over the weekend, we got this crazy security footage showing a lunatic, a crazy man, wearing a latex mask, a security guard uniform, meant to look like a police officer, flashing his flashlight and showing at the homes of some Democratic lawmakers, and then shooting them and taking their lives, wounding others. As, of course, one of the people affected here was Representative Melissa Hortmarn, one of the Democratic lawmakers that just voted no for health care for illegals in her jurisdictions. She sadly lost her life the morning after, as a lot of people are saying she sounds like she's terrified. She sounds like she's very scared here. This is the clip that a lot of people are sharing right now. This was after the vote, before she was targeted and assassinated.
I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
Yeah, very weird situation here, as, of course, Fox News is reporting that this suspect also had a cache of weapons, hit list in his vehicle, allegedly showing more Democratic lawmakers, as, of course, he was luckily captured. As a lot of people are saying, there's some inconsistencies with how he looks, his weight, who really carried this out. Some people are saying that he was covering up for another person doing this. Bail has been set at $5 million for him, as he is now facing 4 counts of second-degree murder without it being premeditated. That's weird here, as a lot of people are saying that doesn't really make sense here, as, of course, a statement for probable cause confirms that he dressed as a police officer and had identified himself at the doorsteps of some of these politicians. Now, this story matters because automatically the left-wingers are like, it's the right-wing guy. The right-winger is like, no, it's the left-wing guy. So far, I'm still confused here. One of the victims here that survived was shot 8 times. Just shared a photo from her hospital bed showing that this man was, of course, apprehended here. Luckily, she survived here, as sadly political violence is becoming the new norm in our society, and it's something that, of course, we should be trying to do everything in our power to try to stop, repel, and prevent from happening and expanding in our current social political discourse. I mean, I think it's okay to argue here that we need to calm things down. The temperature in the room needs to go down. A lot of people were expecting major chaos during the No Kings rally all over the United States. Luckily, no major incidences devolved into mass riots, and there was some property destruction, but overall, a lot more peaceful of a day than some people expected it to be. Now, we got Fox News reporting on this case and giving some more of the anomalies surrounding this, as some people believe that this story gets a lot bigger than what we're actually being told about it. Here's what they had to say.
It's great news that he was arrested. I just saw it this morning, and it really does show probably strong coordination with both, state, federal, local law enforcement, and they did a great job catching this guy. But I think on that earlier clip you're showing, he really is, when they say the face of evil, there's nothing better to describe what this person did other than just pure evil, to go to someone's home, kill them, just for not that there would ever be a justification, but to just show up at their door, murder them in cold blood, just truly horrific, not only for them, but the entire community around them. So,
yeah, I mean, absolutely. It goes without saying. There's also been a lot of swattings. Luckily, the swatting suspect, one of them, has been apprehended. That, of course, was swatting me and my friends. These types of situations are far more real and far more serious, as, of course, we had a lunatic show up at the door of Nick F., who YouTube hates me mentioning for some strange reason, makes him more infamous. We have a lot of calls for violence. We have a political system that sadly is becoming more and more unhinged, as well as the general population. As, of course, if we look around here, a lot of people are just losing their ish here. And this is clear grounds for something bigger at play here that I think is far more sinister and far more dangerous. Before playing some of the more kind of weird facts surrounding this case, is brought to us by Fox News, we wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop. We got a great shop. I make sure the quality control is the best out there because this is my reputation on the line here. One of the supplements that I really do like and personally take is magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate is super, super important for you. Lots of people are missing magnesium in their systems, mainly because our soil, our food, our fruits and vegetables don't have as much of it as they used to before. Wonder why? Well, factory farming and horrible agricultural practices. And truly, our soil, our food is being ruined. And that's why I believe, like Joe Rogan does, that supplementation is essential now towards a healthy, holistic, natural type of lifestyle in order to allow your body to run optimally. People before us had higher testosterone levels, had higher magnesium levels. Right now, a lot of people are missing a lot of the key components to allow their bodies to run optimally. So, as we have previously detailed here, there are multiple studies now specifically talking about how magnesium supplementation actually helps to increase your melatonin by 35%, decrease cortisol by 8%, and improve sleep efficiency by 10% in some people that were studied here. As this was a recent clinical study that was done with people taking 500 milligrams, and they measured it with sleep here. And they found that, hey, this is awesome. This is really great, important stuff here that a lot of people are reporting a lot of increased benefits from. Sleep is essential. Sleep is everything. If you're not having good sleep, your body's not resting. It's not recovering. It is not growing. It is not building. And it is, of course, devolving and getting wrecked and destroyed. I mean, you get no good sleep for like 2 days. It's akin to brain damage, according to other studies as well. And that's why I have magnesium glycinate, something that I take, something that I use, something that I think is essential. Before putting anything into your own body, do your own homework. Every body works different. Every human body has different needs. So make sure to talk to your medical professional, do your own due diligence before taking anything into your own body. When it comes to supplements, I always take... When I'm trying out something new, because I like to be a little bit of a guinea pig. I have a huge vitamin wall, and I like to try out different stuff. I always take, because they say recommended dose, I always take a quarter of it for like a day or two. Then I take a half the third, fourth, fifth day, and then I take the full dose. And then I'm like, okay, let's see if this actually is going to, because some people have allergic reactions, some people don't react well to certain substances. And the more cautionary type of approach here is the best, in my personal opinion, especially when it comes to supplementation before putting anything into your body. And then body scanning, meditating, seeing how your body runs, seeing how your body feels, being able to have a dedicated kind of calculator that describes, because this is my like health watch here, that tracks my HRV, my resting heart rate, tracks how much oxygen I have, tracks my deep sleep, tracks my different heart levels, and truly, this is the way forward, where you have to be kind of on top of it. You're not on top of it. Big pharma, big ag is on top of it, and they're ruining your life. And they're incentivized because they work with big pharma and the big medical industries in order to make you fat, sick, and dumb. And there's a lot of fat, sick, and dumb people. You truly have to be looking out for yourself more than ever. Now, let's continue on with this Fox News report because this is where the story gets a little bit crazy. And again, you could see the left, which generally is less healthy, generally has less testosterone, generally less attractive. When you're healthy, you're more attractive. That's why a lot of right-wingers who are healthy or more health conscious are more attractive. Left-wingers, I don't know if you've been on any of those dating websites. It's like, whoa. Oh, she's liberal. Oh. I knew that right away. Taking care of your health is essential. A lot of people have like messed up guts. Messed up guts means messed up heads. Again, take care of your health, guys. Seriously. The more you start taking care of yourself, the more you start working out, the more right wing you become, oddly enough.
Great news that he was caught. Great work by law enforcement there.
Yeah, and the suspected motive is that he was targeting people who support abortion rights. He does have an online presence, and it shows that he was a devout Catholic, a pastor who preached at a church in the Congo. And one of his Facebook posts said he sought out militant Islamists in order to share the gospel. And
Automatically, ding, 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 ding. He was in Africa trying to be around Islamic jihadis. Ding, 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 ding. Oh. Probably some potential connections with CIA type of behavior, since, the CIA is so known for working, financing, and promoting a lot of radical Islamists. A lot of times, they just give them passports when there's people at the embassies in Jeddah that specifically say, no, please don't enter these people into your country. They're radical jihadis, especially like they did in 2001. And then the CIA comes in and says, no, you denied these guys 3 times. We're going to force you to approve them. And then they come on in. And then they learn how to take off on airplanes and not to land them. And they just don't care about landing them as they're staying with FBI informants.
tell them that violence wasn't the answer. You just called him the face of evil. How do you go from devout Catholic to committing these crimes, wearing this mask that we see on our screen, and killing 2 people and attempting to kill 2 others?
Yeah, it's really kind of scary because it does appear that maybe just something snapped with this guy, because at least if you see that, it doesn't look like this would be the person that would be later killing people or have intent to murder people in his head. But certainly something may have happened that changed this guy, but it is just hard to tell. And maybe they'll find that out as they dig deeper into it, not only social media, but they're going to do extensive interviews with like family, friends, neighbors, other people that know him. So there may get some more insight onto that, but it is very troubling to see that.
Yeah, 110%. Now, there's a possibility here that the official story could be absolutely correct. But the fact that he went after this person that voted against healthcare for the illegals is a little suspicious. The fact that there's so many anomalies with this story and so many weird kind of consequences with these stories, especially with the roommate now, after he allegedly lived in a private house with his kid. His wife was found with passports. We'll get into it, but let's play the rest of this clip here because I think it's important.
Yeah, and then one of the other major elements of this case, Jonathan, is that he didn't impersonate a police officer. And that's something that you can't undo, you can't unsee. Are you concerned about copycats when it comes to this, and how does law enforcement mitigate that?
Sadly so. He's a copycat of another copycat, because this has been going on for quite a while. When dealing with like swattings and people trying to have random police officers show up at your door, a lot of people believe that this was a way to soften you up towards a real person coming and trying to hurt you. A lot of people believed, and this is the conversations that me and Tim Pool were having, because we were getting swatted all the time. And then I'm like, listen, let's just stop talking about this. Listen, if I get, don't talk about it. The more you talk about it, the more it happens. The more you verify that it actually worked, that it actually was effective, the more these people try to do this to you. But more importantly, we were like, okay, if someone really is trying to hurt us, right, they're not just going to hurt us. They're going to create a situation where they make police officers believe that it's always a fake call, because they could be planning on doing something real, okay? And this is the way we were thinking, Because if someone really wants to hurt us, and there's people who do, I get the threats and harassments all the time. Tim Pool had a very important post over the weekend. As soon as the Iran war kind of kicked off, he was like, I get threats. I get people showing up at my house. I get people trying to hurt me. I never go out and retroactively attack them, metaphorically talking about the actions of Israel, being critical of it that way. But that's the reality that he faces. That's the reality that I faced. That's the reality that we go through as people who create content and express opinions. Sometimes those opinions are unpopular. Sometimes people take it a little bit personally. Sometimes people are more deranged and insane, and they try to, of course, scare you, hurt you, threaten, and destroy your life because of your political opinions. That's the world that we're living in, sadly, right now, that we didn't live in before. And it slowly progressed. And we're at this kind of crescendo moment where we got crazy people showing up at people's homes. First, it was swattings. Now it's crazy people showing up at people's homes and taking their lives. This is a dangerous escalation that deserves to be called out here. And as we were talking, listen, the swattings are happening as a way to make us more of a soft target, to have us more off guard here, to think that when a real threat comes, that it's just a SWAT, when it's going to be a real threat. That's what we were thinking was happening here. And that's where we are slowly moving into. And some people believe that this is a part of some kind of larger government conspiracy, which what better way to radicalize people? What better way to divide and conquer people? What better way to do this than, of course, set up a whole bunch of MKUltra crazy people, political commentators, and then, of course, muddy the waters and make this more of a destructive type of situation for everybody all around.
Yeah, I would be concerned about copycat people doing this. Also, the other thing is it sort of erodes trust in law enforcement. Not that law enforcement didn't do a phenomenal job here, but now if people encounter law enforcement, particularly in that area, they may be hesitant to either cooperate with them and things like that. And you have so many instances now of, these swatting instances where people call 911 on unsuspecting homeowners and police come. And you do think there's more potential violence because of this. And
now a couple things. Look at the guy, how he looks here. All right. That's a weird picture there. Okay. Maybe it's just the angle. Maybe it's just the weird kind of stuff here. We also have the roommate coming out and reading the last kind of text messages from this kind of crazy person. The roommate here, seen with this Papa John's shirt, as he was a Papa John's delivery driver, also came out, said he was a Trump supporter, even though he was appointed by Tim Walz. Very weird situation. As again, this type of video absolutely has just rocked Minnesota, but rocked this nation. We're also hearing reports that allegedly Tim Walz deleted every post he made praising the Minnesota assassin previously, before he committed his crimes. There's a lot of extensive connections between him and Tampon Tim, as Donald Trump has called him. There's also a lot of people insisting that he lived in a small house with a Papa John's delivery guy. But he was also married and with a family, and he owned a huge property and a huge home. There's also the weird questions about his fake security company, his travels to Africa, his work with jihadis. As again, what did he live in a multi-million-dollar estate with 5 kids, or did he live in a pizza shop? Was he a doctor? No, he was a 7-Eleven manager. Wait, what? He was the director of an international security firm too. He was a part-time preacher in the Congo. He also worked as a mortician who worked night shifts. He was a CEO of an international NGO, as well as, why not? And he had the free time to plot an elaborate attempt to take the lives of, quote, 70 politicians. The more you start looking into this, the more the story just doesn't add up here. As, of course, he was appointed to the MWD board by Democrat Governor Tim Walz. He was appointed to the same board by Democrats. His wife also worked for Tim Walz, and then he took the life of 2 moderate Democrats. He, again, how does this make sense? His wife was seen in a vehicle with cash and passport and was pulled over and, of course, apprehended here. This bogus security company and his travels to Africa definitely raise a lot more kind of concerns here than anything else, as Alex Jones came out and said, police photo of Vance Bollinger being taken into custody. Quote, everything about this event has MKUltra written all over it. That was the actual case here. As of course, the conservative alternative responded to me, and I was like, what's the truth here? And he says, the more answers we get, the less the story makes sense. I doubt we will ever know the truth. I think that's the more kind of accurate depiction here. We have Namrock on Twitter showing a picture of a glowy. Retired Army EDO says, don't care anymore. World War III is kicking off. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you could see our previous video and our future videos. That's probably going to be the next video. Based Deer says, first they had a manifesto. Now they don't. Are we even really sure that this is the guy who did it? I doubt that too, because he looks so different in his photos than he does in that Ring doorbell footage. Now, again, the Ring doorbell footage is a warped kind of camera. It's not a usual camera. And it could be just a different angle that we're not seeing it from, but he does look different from first kind of appearances here. I'm waiting until we get more evidence. Again, is this really because of him being pro-life here? Was he a professional hitman? Because it looked like he carried this on in a very professional, proficient manner, which is very surprising. Now, I think we should care about this story. I think the story deserves more attention. And I think it's building up to potentially something bigger that we should be all doing everything in our efforts to try to prevent right now. If you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys subscribing, clicking the notification button. Take care of your health. Get some magnesium glycinate in your life, and stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.